These are the 20 beauty products I have fully used up recently and whether or not I would repurchase them myself and recommend them to you. Let's do this. You will never hear me mention this brand ever again after this video because they no longer exist. In case you missed it, Apostrophe has officially gone out of business, which was not only a shock for me as somebody who has had videos sponsored by Apostrophe, but also as somebody that has used Apostrophe for the past few years now for prescription topicals. I found out that Apostrophe was going out of business on the same day that all of you did, and let me tell you, I panicked. Because if you've been keeping up with my skincare journey videos, then you will know that I very recently switched over from tretinoin to tazarotene and also azelaic, what was that? Azelaic acid, and I did all of that through Apostrophe, only to find out that Apostrophe was the only online platform like that that had a tazarotene prescription available. Don't panic. Because at first I was like, oh, I'll just go back to Curology or Agency or one of these other services that I've used before because I had really good experiences with all of them. But in my preliminary research, I realized, oh, that's not going to work because none of them have tazarotene. And I share that full update, the whole backstory with you guys in my most recent nighttime skincare routine. So I'll just list that video in my description box below instead of repeating the entire story again here. But I let you guys know in that video what I am doing moving forward to get tazarotene and my 15% azelaic acid prescription. In addition to a couple of other options that I found in case what I am doing doesn't end up working for you. So I wanted to make sure that I included Apostrophe in an Empties video one last time so I could let you guys know that yes, I am still using tazarotene and azelaic acid, just no longer through Apostrophe. RIP. Next up for skincare is a moisturizer from Beauty of Joseon. This is called their Dynasty cream, and this is a cream in which they highlight 29% rice bran water, ginseng root water, squalane, and niacinamide. For some reason, I was expecting this to be a pretty thick, rich, more like nighttime-esque moisturizing cream, and it's really nothing like that, which I actually very much ended up enjoying. And it's not that this isn't creamy at all, it's just that it's incredibly light. So it's very soft, it's very silky. It's just, again, not super thick and rich and heavy. And to me, when I compare this to a lot of other moisturizers I've tried that maybe are a little bit more standard in terms of texture, there is definitely something about this that feels luxe or elevated. So I totally understand why so many people love this. It really is one of those that I think is worth the hype. So if you are interested in a lighter, silkier cream, then I think that you'll love this. Next up is the Benton Fermentation Eye Cream, which highlights the use of triple fermented ingredients, peptides, and ceramides. This is a texture that is kind of more what I was expecting with the Beauty of Joseon cream because it is a bit thicker and richer, and that's something that I love in a nighttime eye cream, but I just found it difficult to get out of this packaging. It has kind of just like this standard squeezy tube packaging, and it just did not want to come out of this easily, probably just because of how thick it is and not having a big enough opening to come out of. So I just found myself not wanting to reach for this at all because it was just annoying to use, and that's something that makes me not want to repurchase an item. Like, no matter how nice it is, I'm like, I'll find something that's just as nice in packaging that is easier to work with and doesn't feel like a hassle every time I'm reaching for it, which is a bummer because I feel like I definitely would have repurchased had it not been for that packaging, but I couldn't get around that. Why do I feel like my hand was going like that the entire time I just filmed that? Last for facial skincare is the Prequel Pre-Gleanse Cleansing Oil, which calls out the use of silica oil, linoleic acid, linolenic acid, and rice bran oil. If I am remembering the timing of when I got this in PR correctly, I'm pretty sure that I got this around the same time that I started testing out some new K-beauty cleansing oils that I had heard amazing things about. And when I compared how this removed eye makeup to those, I was like, yeah, this isn't bad, but I definitely do have to rub a little bit longer than I do with some of these other K-beauty oils that seem to give me an easier swipe away. Other than that, like just having to rub a tiny bit longer, everything else about this is great. It's not greasy, it removes facial makeup really easily. It's just that one piece that I'm being nitpicky about because I feel like that's my job here on YouTube and reviewing beauty products. And looking at this now, I'm like, I definitely have one final pump. Well, it might not pump out. I could get one final pour out of it. So I need to do that tonight. But definitely a solid cleansing oil. I love that it's a drugstore option, one that I now will repurchase. Moving on to Bodycare, body skincare. I don't know why I said that. So you guys heard me ranting and raving about the Dove Restoring Coconut and Cocoa Butters body wash at the end of last year. It was something that I just happened to discover. I was like, oh, that sounds nice. Not expecting it to smell like freaking some dried body wash flakes just sprinkled on my desk. Not expecting this to smell like cookies. This smells so insanely delicious. You guys already know I won't sit here and talk your ear off about that again, but I wanted to bring this up because I not only emptied that, but another of their body washes that I got, which is the Pampering Shea Butter and Vanilla Body Wash. And this took me so much longer to empty because I just did not enjoy the smell nearly as much as I did this one. And it's not that this smells bad, it's just not my favorite kind of fragrance. I think I was hoping to get more vanilla from it, and to me it just smells kind of powdery. So moving forward, I will not be repurchasing the Shea Butter and Vanilla scent. I'll just be sticking with Coconut and Cocoa Butters, my one true love. But either way, both of these are great body washes. They clean really well while not stripping my skin or leaving it feeling itchy and dry, so highly recommend for a drugstore option that smells freaking amazing. I finished up an EOS body butter. This is their Shea Butter Cashmere Whipped Oil Butter in the Vanilla Cashmere fragrance, and I will not be repurchasing. It was definitely plenty moisturizing, but it's also very thick and heavy, like probably the thickest, heaviest body butter I've tried in a while. So if I applied even a little bit too much, it just left my skin like slippy and filmy, and it took forever to dry down. And I just do not like that about a body butter, especially when there are other options from the drugstore that are incredible. So one that I have been raving about recently is the newer Saltaire body butter. Those are absolutely beautiful, much better than this in my opinion. Or just something that isn't getting talked about as much recently, but is still so good. The Tree Hut body butters, those are amazing. I think probably even cheaper than this and do not have that issue of being heavy and slippy and wet. I also finished up a body cream from the brand NatureWell. This is their Cheeky Firming Body Cream, which is definitely supposed to be a dupe for the Sol de Janeiro Boom Boom Cream, but it's not. Well, the smell of it, I will say, is pretty dang close. Like, that's pretty spot on. That really does smell like the Sol de Janeiro cream, but the texture of it is really nothing like it at all. Compared to the Boom Boom cream, I would say that this is much lighter, but not in the most pleasant way. It's really not even creamy at all for being called a body cream. I found it to be kind of like drippy and a little runny and very wet. So I had a similar issue to what I had with EOS, where I felt like it took a while to dry down, but in a significantly lighter format. It just was kind of like I had like a wet, I don't even know what layer of serum on my skin, I want to say, but that makes it sound nice, and like I just didn't think it was that nice. So this is one of those products that I felt like I was only reaching for so that I could finish it up quickly and never have to reach for it again, which tells me that it's clearly not something that I want in my collection permanently. So not repurchasing this either. Last for body care is a hand cream from Prequel. This is the Hand Wrap Hand Shielding Lotion, which highlights the use of a water-resistant film former. Let me guess. Dimethicone or some other silicone, lipids, phytosterols, and lipid layer enhancers. I have no complaints about this. I think it's a really solid hand lotion. It's something that was creamy and moisturizing enough, but not so thick and heavy that it didn't dry down quickly, which is definitely something I can't stand with a hand cream, because like then what, I go try to pick things up and they're slipping through my hands, like no. So moisturizing yet fast absorbing enough for that to not be an issue. The only thing that I was not personally obsessed with about this is the fact that it's fragrance free, but I totally understand why they made this fragrance free. This really is supposed to be a brand that's suitable for sensitive skin, and especially this says that it's not only safe for sensitive skin, but also eczema prone skin. And obviously if you have eczema or just like really intensely dry, cracked, chapped hands, you're not going to want to put something that's heavily fragranced on that, or it can just cause irritation further. So totally understand that it makes the most sense for them to have a fragrance-free hand cream, but I just really love fragrance in a hand cream because I don't have any of those concerns. So I feel like it's something that just makes applying hand lotion even nicer when I get like a nice scent from it. So while I won't repurchase this one, if you are somebody that does need a fragrance-free option, I would definitely recommend it. Wait, did I say last for body care? We actually have one more item. This is something that I really thought I was going to fall in love with, and I just didn't at all. It is the EOS Shea Butter 24-Hour Moisture Shave Cream. I believe this is available in at least a handful of fragrances, but I picked up Vanilla Bliss, obviously, we're not surprised. And while I loved the smell and actually really liked the way that it felt, unfortunately, the texture did not lend itself to like a nice shaving experience. I felt like it actually made shaving more difficult because it's so thick and creamy that it was just clogging up my razor. So I felt like every single time I swiped my razor, I would have to go rinse it off in water. Otherwise, it was just like too clogged up to work, which is not something that I want to do when I'm shaving my legs. Shaving my legs is one of the worst things that I have to do to myself on a weekly basis. Like, oh my God, it's just so much work. So anything that makes that process more of a hassle is not gonna work for me. So I would not recommend these if you have similar concerns to me with shaving. My personal favorite is the Skintimate. I think it's the Vitamin E Dry Skin Shaving Cream in the yellow packaging specifically. That one is the best, my favorite. Okay, now we're done with body care and we can move on to makeup. All of these items, well, there's only 3 of them, but they are all holy grails for me. So spoiler, I've already repurchased and I'm already using my new purchases for all of these because I can't live without them. The first is the Tarte Creaseless Creamy Concealer. They actually have another concealer that looks super similar to this, but just with a purple cap, and it also has Creaseless, I think, in the name. Let me check. I only know that because I went to Sephora and asked for a shade that I couldn't find on the shelf in this, and then when I got home, I realized that what was in my bag was a totally different concealer. Okay, it's this one, the Creaseless Full Coverage Radiant Concealer. Not that one. This one, Creaseless Creamy. This is just my current holy grail concealer. I love the level of coverage that I get because it's enough to cover up my dark circles without looking too heavy or makeup-y, and it really does live up to the Creaseless name. I have done wear tests with this compared to other concealers, and for me, this one settles in lines and creases the least. Well, I guess I should say, while also giving me the look and level of coverage that I want. So highly recommend if you look for those same kinds of things in concealers as well. Second for makeup is yet another Amika lip oil in the shade Reflection, which is just their clear lip oil. I obviously am obsessed with this. I feel like I've shown this in so many Empties videos because I have to have this at all times. I have to. And I feel like this is my most traveled lip gloss by far because it's just my favorite to reach for when I want something that's cushy and comfortable while giving me really pretty wet reflective shine in a clear format that does not change the lip color that I have underneath it. Like, you guys know I'm such a huge fan of lip tints and stains. I feel like I really dove into that category majorly last summer, and this was my favorite gloss to top all of those with. Well, lip oil. Technically, this is called a lip oil, which, speaking of, I am working on an updated lip oil showdown where I will, of course, include Amika, but if there are any other lip oils that you were dying to see me review, make sure to let me know in the comments below so I can have time to pick that up and test it before I am ready to wrap on preparing for that video and actually film it. But in the meantime, if you are looking for an incredible lip oil, 100% try out Amika. It is so, so good. And last for makeup is the Lawless Forget the Filler gloss in the shade Velvet, which has to be my most emptied lip gloss that has color to it within the past few years. I've gone through so many of these. It is just my absolute favorite. If you have been watching my videos for years, like since the beginning, then you will know that my favorite lipstick of all time was MAC Modesty. Gorgeous, slightly cool toned, but mostly neutral pink. And I feel like this is the lip gloss version of that. I also know that the swatches that they have of this online honestly look nothing like it does in person. The swatch is much deeper, more plummy, more rosy. Whereas this, let's whip out my new one since that other one is definitely crusty and expired, is just like a gorgeous, light, slightly cool toned, but again, mostly neutral pink. So if you've heard me talk about this previously and then looked at the swatches and thought like, oh, that doesn't look like it'd be a good fit for me, just know that that is not actually what it looks like. I posted a video talking about this on TikTok a few months ago and saw several comments saying like, oh my God, I never would have purchased that based on those swatch photos, but seeing it swatched on your hand and on your face in person, on your face, on your lips, oh my gosh, that looks like the exact type of shade that I've been looking for. So just wanted to call that out because I don't want any of you to miss out on how beautiful this is if you are a neutral, lighter pink kind of girl. Or guy, or they, or whoever. Moving on to our final category, hair care. First up is the Inkey Salicylic Acid Exfoliating Scalp Treatment, which is a pre-shampoo treatment that is said to help with oily, itchy, and flaky scalps. And I really do think that it does those things, at least it did for me. It's something that has 2% salicylic acid. I don't think they have it listed on here. 2% salicylic acid, 2.5% fluidipure, and 1% panthenol. So I really really liked this while I used it, but once I started using medicated shampoos, I realized that these were much more effective for me than this was for those specific concerns. And I'm holding this up because this is my next empty. So this is the Nizoral Anti-Dandruff Shampoo, which contains 1% ketoconazole. This, in addition to pyrithione zinc containing shampoos, like for example, Head & Shoulders Classic Clean, are so effective for me in helping to control itch, irritation, flaking, scaling, that I don't need to use this anymore. So it's not that I don't think that this is good. It's not that I wouldn't recommend it. It's just that I don't have a need to repurchase it at this point in time. However, I will say that if you're someone that just has an incredibly oily scalp, doesn't necessarily have a need for a medicated shampoo, maybe like me or other people who have concerns like that, and you already use deep cleaning shampoos often, and you're like, I just want something to help with that oil control even more, then this could be something that when used before a deep cleaning shampoo helps you even further. But for me, I am super happy with the results that I'm getting from not only my medicated shampoo routine, but also my clarifying shampoo routine. So I am sticking with that for now, since that is what works best for me. And again, I have really seen amazing results in using different kinds of medicated shampoos that have different active ingredients. So one that I use is Nizoral, which I fully used up, already repurchased because I am using this on my itchy spots every single wash. And again, the active in this is ketoconazole, but I also really love using pyrithione zinc shampoos, and I'll just use them both in the same wash on those spots. If this is a category that you would like to learn more about, which honestly I would say everybody should, because I feel like people assume that shampoos like this, anything medicated, anything anti-dandruff, is only for people that have severe dandruff, like heavy flakes where you can see it on your shoulders. But that is not true. The active ingredients in medicated shampoos like this help with so many common scalp concerns outside of just visible flakes. So if you want to know more about that, the active ingredients to look for, the shampoos that I recommend, I will list a video that I posted below recently. No, that I posted recently below in the description box. It is a video where I talk all about how to find the best shampoo for your specific scalp concerns, and part of that video is covering medicated shampoos. Another shampoo that I fully used up is the Garnier Fructis Hair Filler Strength Repair Shampoo, which is one of my absolute favorites in this bond repair category at the drugstore, or just any price point, because it gives me such a great clean. So if you're someone with a really oily scalp that feels like bond repair shampoos just don't give you a good enough clean, or you're someone that feels like you have hair that's easily weighed down by bonding shampoos, then this is one that I would definitely recommend checking out. I think it's great for both of those concerns. A conditioner empty is the L'Oreal Everpure Bond Repair Conditioner, which has been a favorite of mine for several years now. It's thick, it's creamy, I just love, love, love it. It will always have a place in my shower on the shelves, so definitely something that I'll continue to repurchase, and one that I would recommend if you really love a thicker, creamier conditioner. Next up is the Amika Smooth Over Frizz Fighting Treatment, which is supposed to reduce frizz, block humidity, boost shine, and deliver healthier looking hair. And I would say it does all of those things for sure. It definitely has like an instant silkening, sleekening effect that I can feel while I'm using it in the shower. The texture is really interesting. It's kind of almost slightly jelly-like, so if you have ever used like a L'Oreal Wonder Water or something that's more of like a watery rinse, this again is a little bit more jelly-like than that, but still just again has that really nice smoothing effect in the shower. Definitely gives me really nice soft smooth hair, but why did my voice do that? But I don't really feel like I have a need for this as an additional step in my routine, because I really do get these kinds of benefits from my favorite conditioning products already. Like I really feel like I can get all of this from my favorite glosses, conditioners, and masks, but I am not somebody that has incredibly frizzy hair. I don't live somewhere where it's super humid year round. It's really only for a few months out of the year. So this might be something that's like right up your alley. You need it in your arsenal if you are super prone to frizz and do live in a high humidity environment. Also, if you feel like you just want to boost all of those things, but you don't want to use something that is going to weigh down your hair, like you don't want to use another conditioner, another mask for it, you just want something super light, then that would be another reason why I would recommend checking this out, and you might really love it for that reason. Second to last is the L'Oreal Elvive Glycolic Gloss, which is an absolutely incredible gloss. It makes my hair so soft, so smooth, so shiny. I absolutely love it. I just won't be repurchasing it because this was the original version they had, which was available overseas. I had to go through European vendors to get it. Since then, in the past year, they have come out with a US version that's just easier for me to get my hands on. So I am officially retiring this specific gloss from my collection, but the US gloss will continue to be a staple for me that I repurchase. I will say, I'm gonna miss the smell of this. Smells so good. The US version smells good too, but oh, this is just beautiful. Last for hair care is the Tresemme Keratin Smooth Heat Protect Spray. They call out marula oil on the front. I would like to call out amodimethicone, third on the label. It also has argan oil and is something that I think is one of my lighter weight leave-in recommendations. Like when I think about all of the leave-ins I have at all different price points, I feel like the most lightweight out of all of them is Pantene Miracle Rescue and the two that I have from Tresemme, which is this and Tresemme Heat Tamer. I would just say that this one is a little bit creamier, a little bit thicker, and a little bit more conditioning than Tresemme Heat Tamer while still being very lightweight. I actually think I already have another of these. I don't know why I had like a few of these sitting on my shelf, so I don't need to repurchase right now because I already have it. And those are the 20 beauty products that I emptied recently, so we are ready to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching it, and if you did enjoy it, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend that you think would enjoy my videos because that really helps to support me, which means so much to me. Thank you for watching my videos. I love the freaking heck out of you guys. Make sure to stay tuned for my next one because that will be up a week from today, but until then, I hope you have a great week.